Welcome to SML Total Access, where we break down news, predictions, and more in our Madden League. Now, let's get fired up for SML football.
Hello and welcome back to SML. Hold on, what is it? SML Total Access. I'm Prime Time, and with me is Faz and Tiny. I don't know what we've got going on, but we've got a group of guys and we got a mic, and we're going to try recording something.
Yes, sir. What's good? Happy to be here. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Ah, yes.
It's been a while, man. I'm ready to be back.
Yeah. So let's go ahead. If you guys don't know what, before we get any further, I'm rusty, guys. I'm rusty. So if you guys haven't,
it's been a while,
If you guys haven't,
and he has COVID.
Yeah, and I got COVID and I'm sick. But we got 4 downs, an extra point. So let's go ahead and let's do it. First down. Hey, Dump has been talking a lot of trash as usual, but he's supposed to play me in a game, and then he's gone missing. Is Dump scared? And we'll start with Tiny. And what do you think about Dump right now, Tiny?
So I don't know, man. I find it weird that he waited so long to say something to you about being late for his game. But he's been pretty dominant this cycle so far. But I do think he's a little worried, like all the crap he's talked, and then he's lost some big games here randomly, here and there. And then you see him disappear from chat for like 24 hours, which that's not out of the norm. That's been pretty much how it's been with him. So I think he may be trying to game plan a little more, or maybe playing some mind games with you. I don't know. We'll see. What do you think, Faz?
Yeah, that's kind of the big thing with Dump is, when he comes out and he starts talking, that's usually when the collapse hits. When he's silent, he's silent but deadly. I knew coming up, he just, was coming off a big win against me in week 7. That was a great game. He played, a phenomenal game, pretty much flawless offense. And I kind of knew I was in trouble because, he was nowhere to be found before our game. Like I heard from him to schedule and then not again. So I was like, oh man, this could be dangerous. I'm getting focused Dump. But now all of a sudden he starts guaranteeing wins against Prime. He's getting a little loud, getting a little rowdy, and now all of a sudden we got to push him back the time. So I don't know. I think there might be a little bit of Dump being scared here.
Yeah. Obviously, I've been on the end of getting the trash talked about me, and this has been going on. Really, he brought up scrimmages. He's guaranteed wins on Twitter and Discord and this and that, and then for him not to show up, it's pretty interesting. I think what Dump needs to realize is who he's trying to trash talk here, and he's not going to get in my head, and I think he realizes it. He's done this before when he was in my division, and I would take him out behind the woodshed and put him down like a dead animal. I don't think he's on my level. Mentally, stick skill-wise, I don't think this game's going to be close, and I've listened to The Truth where Paulie says I've been disappointing and whatever he's saying, and there's nothing I want more than to take Dump out and cut his head off, and I'm definitely going to do that whenever this game is. So that's my opinion on that matter.
Yeah, I feel like my opinion was I thought you would win this game. I thought it would be close. I don't think you're going to go out there and whip his ass, but I think there's a possibility you could go out there and make a statement. We'll see.
We'll see. I think I got something up my sleeve. So let's move on. Second down. If you guys are new to Total Access, we don't waste, we don't babble, we move on. Let's go to second down. Hey, Dan and Bomber are undefeated. So double loaded question here. We'll start with Faz, but who is going to stay undefeated longer? And then who's just the better player between Dan and Bomber?
Yeah, this is a double-loaded question. Obviously, these are 2 premier teams in the AFC, as Bomber would tell you. The only important conference on just about all of his shows, and both of them have pretty favorable schedules going forward. Both of them have a handful of tough games. I'm about to play Bomber tomorrow. Quick plug there, 4 p.m. Bomber also has Spades on the schedule. Dan has the same. He has Spades. He also has Dump in week 18, and the rest is pretty easy. So, both have a good shot, honestly, at 17-0 if they can get through one tough game. I tend to think that Dan has a better shot at holding out longer. I know that, Bomber's been known for some mid-season slumps. So I tend to think Dan holds out longer on the loss column. As far as who's the better player, that's a tough call. I feel Dan is a little more methodical. usually a little more prepared, is strategizes a little better, whereas Bomber is more of a brute force. He's going to, do what he wants to do and not adjust too much, but, you don't really have to, and it works quite as well as it has for Bomber. Obviously, season 1 Super Bowl champ. I think right now I'm going to lean Dan, slightly better player, but it is close.
Tiny?
All right, so I pretty much agree with everything you just said, Faz. Except it's funny. I was just thinking this when I was watching. I think it was Dan play yesterday. It was yesterday or the day before. I don't know. That doesn't matter. But like I just noticed, like because when I play him as well, he plays me close. It feels like he plays everybody pretty close. Like Dan's not out there to go play how he wants to play. The whole game, if that makes any sense. Like he's not gonna go out there and just score 50 and put you down for 7. Now Bomber will go out there and just beat the brakes off of you if he has the game plan. But I feel like Dan, it's weird. Like he's methodical about it, but he's only going to do as much as he needs to do to win. Bomber will go out there and play like he thinks he needs to, and he will just actually just destroy you if he wants to. But I can't go against Bomber, man. Like he's played so well this cycle. Like the only thing that he doesn't have is a great passing game. If he gets a little more of a passing game, I feel like he's pretty much unstoppable, honestly, in my opinion.
So I've played both of these players a substantial amount last cycle, and this cycle I played Bomber twice, and Dan, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. I guess just to answer the question, I think Dan stays unbeaten longer. With Bomber playing Faz this week, and then he's got a game against Spades not too long after that, it's going to be tough for him to remain unbeaten, especially with his regular season slumps that Faz mentioned. We're getting close to that point. As for who's better, and this really isn't fair for Bomber, but I think Bomber's had better teams, and I think Dan's always, and I think Bomber's a better GM than Dan. But I think that Dan's the better player. Like when I play Bomber, I know, okay, Nick Chubb's getting the ball, and that's it. And it's not that Bomber's a great runner, I don't think. I mean, he kind of just bumbles into his offensive line, and Nick Chubb sheds a million tackles. He doesn't quite have the stick skills that Faz does, and he doesn't quite pick his holes gracefully. He just kind of bumbles his way, and just the way Madden is and Nick Chubb is. And he sticks with it, but I think Dan, there's a lot more levels to his game. There's a lot more diversity. When I play Dan, I have to really think about where he's going to attack me, and there's just different tiers to his game where I feel like Bomber's a little one-dimensional, and I think maybe a little less thought is put into his style. But it works. He won a Super Bowl, so there's that. But I do think that Dan did. I think Bomber escaped Dan last year in the AFC Championship game, though. I think if they played that game 10 times, I think Dan maybe wins the majority of them. So
the only argument I would have there is I kind of agree with what you said, but with kind of what I said was how Dan stays close with his opponents, even lesser opponents.
Yeah.
I almost think Dan overthinks it sometimes with how much he game plans for the opponents he plays.
Yeah,
that's why he stays so close.
He's gone on record. In the Super Bowl against RD, he claims he prepped too much for that game. I don't know. I mean, it's possible. So, all right, guys, let's move on.
Anyone were to prep too much, it definitely would be Dan.
Yeah, it's kind of wild, actually.
Absolutely.
So let's move on. Third down. Coach Pauly, my former friend, now foe. The season ended today. No playoffs. Tiny, do you think that Pauly is going to make the playoffs?
I'm going to say yeah, just because for the fact that I think that if I can get to 7 wins, I'll be close to making the wild card, if not there. So Pauly for sure will be right there. The NFC, you don't have to win that many games to get to have a chance at the wild card. So. And Pauly's, I don't know. His offense hasn't been that great. He's talked about wanting to get a mobile quarterback, because obviously he likes to run those RPOs. Everybody's talked about it. We all know, and he's got Tom Brady. An RPO with Tom Brady is not the best thing to do. But his schedule is not awful. It's not the easiest in the world. So I think he'll get. He's 3-4 right now, so. I think he'll get to 9 wins and probably get a wild card spot.
All right, Faz.
Yeah, I'm looking at his schedule here, and I see, honestly, I think 4 more losses coming. He has got QP coming up in 2 weeks here. He's got Dump in week 12. He's got U Prime in week 14, and then he's got Clink in week 18. And Clink right now seems to be just all up in Paulie's head.
Yep.
So that's 4 really tough games right there that he's going to need to probably win at least 2 of. Otherwise, he's looking at 8 losses on the season. And as far as the teams in front of him, while I think some of them, aren't as good as Paulie, he's right now we've got Noel at 6-2, D-Muse at 5-3, who's playing better football. Graham's at 4-4, who's in, Tiny, easier division at the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
So, he's kind of behind the 8 ball here. And with, 4 potential losses, he really can't afford to drop any. So, I think he's looking at an uphill battle, honestly.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for him. He's at 3-4 right now. He's already lost 1 to Clinky, and he does have those 4 tough games. I don't see him losing all 4. I think he probably beats Dump. But he doesn't have a lot of room for error. The good news is, like you guys said, it is the NFC. And I think that he'll find a way to make it. The thing about Paulie, though, he's only 1 game back in his division right now. I guess a game and a half, technically. But last cycle, Dan was completely in his head. I mean, Dan went like literally 11-0 against Paulie or something insane. And Paulie's a good enough player where he should steal a game or 2. I'm starting to get nervous that Clinky might become the Dan for Paulie. He beat Paulie 49-7, and I know Paulie's all worked up about Mecole Hardman trade, but Tom Brady went 6 of 11 with 4 interceptions and 93 yards. He almost completed more passes to the Saints than he did to his own team. Mecole Hardman has nothing to do with that if you're going to throw the ball like that on offense. Lost 49-7. I think he's just overthinking the Saints, and he needs to stop that. Otherwise, it's just going to be a long cycle for him. But yeah, I think he makes the playoffs, and if he does anything, I'm not sure. I've lost some confidence in Paulie for now.
Yeah. So while you guys were talking, I was actually looking to a deeper point into his schedule. Is like take out Woods, which is in his division, and the Rams. He's literally got Matt, the Seahawks, Prime, Dump. I mean, like QP, like that's always yeah. He's on a tough road, man. That's gonna be rough. I didn't realize how bad his schedule was at the end of the season.
That is gonna be tough. All right, guys, let's move on now to 4th down. Dream SML Super Bowl matchups, and let's start with Faz this time.
So I believe we're doing current versus or 1 current and 1 all-timer.
Yeah, sure.
So I think for currents, there's a couple different ways you could go with this. Part of me would just honestly love to see like a Fins and Figs Super Bowl. Because I just feel like the comedy in the commentary value could be incredible for that. You could really just have a blast. But actually I think my true dream for this cycle would be actually a Battle of the X's, Prime versus Paulie. And just, see how that goes. Obviously, Paulie last season pretty much just kind of moved out of the way whenever you guys faced each other in playoffs. But, with this newfound kind of distrust, maybe you get a more fired up Paulie if you were to meet in that big game. As far as all time, I think I'd go for the full Toxic Bowl. I would go Dookie versus Conk and just watch things just explode. I wasn't here for Conk, but I've heard some stories.
That'd be a fun one. Tiny, what do you think?
All right, so my first guess was I was new KJ Tiny. How about that? A Tennessee Boys Super Bowl. How about that?
That'd be a good one.
I would tune in for that for sure. That would be a good one.
So, but after that, for entertainment value, I would do a Tiny versus Monty. Faz could attest to this one for me. How good would that be, right?
I don't have enough time on Stone searching for the Come On Mans.
A 56-55 missed field goal at the end of the game Super Bowl. How awesome would that be?
We would go viral for sure.
For the guys that's not in the league anymore, I'm going to do a Conk and Doc Super Bowl. How
Jeez.
about
There you go.
Dookie Jr.
Yep.
that?
I'm gonna go. I would like to see Dan and Dump go at it because I don't think they like each other. Like I think it's pretty well known that they just don't like each
Yeah,
other.
for
And
sure.
I think games hold a little more weight when there's actually some animosity between the players. I think a Mike FML versus Paulie would be a fun one to watch as well.
That would be amazing.
Oh man.
That would be
Could
good.
you imagine how much Mike would complain after the game if Paulie won?
Yeah, that would get ugly pretty quick.
As for all time, I would like to see. I don't know. I'd like to see QB stud against Dookie just to see. That would. I think that'd
That'd be
be a
nice.
that'd be a good one because Dookie was actually a solid player. He did beat Dan in the Super Bowl, and QB was good as well. And I think the chat would be interesting to be in at that time. So, moving on
For like 3 minutes,
Yeah,
then
for
you'd have
3
to like
minutes.
turn it off.
Yeah, it'd be more after that.
Get out.
Extra point, Tiny. I guess for SML, what if? Do you possibly have a proposal of what if SML scenario?
All right. So the one thing I could come up with here, and it would be super awesome to see this, like if I could just go back in time and change the whole SML world. Like, what if Meats won 4 Simbardis last cycle? How awesome would that be? Would that not be the best thing in the world?
That'd be miserable. That'd be awful.
Yeah, that would be awful.
That'd
No,
be
I hate
awful.
that. Yeah,
That'd
I
be
would
awful.
not
I love
enjoy that
Meats,
at all.
man. Meats is great. He never talks too much crap. He's a good
No,
dude.
he talks. Whoa,
Makes-
hold
Yeah,
on,
wait
hold
a
on.
minute, wait a minute.
Okay, here's my thing about me. Now you got me on the soapbox. So the thing about Meats is, and I still haven't forgotten, he'll take these little subtle shots at you, and he'll word them in such a way that they're not very direct. And then if you come at him, he'll be like, "Oh, where is this coming from?" He took
Okay,
some-
yeah, I agree with that in like our political talks, but like
No.
nothing with SML
No,
football.
he took a shot at me halfway through season 1. Called me like I forget. He called me some NBA player that's like a good all time player. It was a shot, and I haven't forgotten that. And when I play him, I'm gonna do some bad things to Meats. But no, I do not want Meats to win one at all.
All right, well, I'm sorry. That's my pick. Go ahead, Fab.
Yeah, at the old team draft there, he said he was very excited for me to join his division and for the big rivalry.
Yeah.
And then I clapped his cheeks, 2 straight times in season 1. He said, "Oh, well, I don't ever expect to beat Foz. So it's as long as I can keep it close, that's good
Yeah.
enough for me." To quote my boy Hova, I got one word: meh.
Oh,
shot
man.
fired. Faz, we're gonna put you on the spot. Do you have any what ifs you would like to dream of, or not really?
Jeez, you're putting me on the spot
Yeah,
here.
we're gonna put you on the spot.
Hold on. What if I had joined Primer in Mike FML's division? Would I have ever gotten called up?
I don't know.
No.
Probably not. Dan had messaged me so many times for you to get the call up. It was insane. He would always, he's like, "Hey, yeah, my buddy Faz or something. You should call him up." He was a big Faz believer.
It's nice to know that at one point he believed in me in public.
Yeah. So, I guess my what if would be what if I don't know. Let's do this. What if QB stud didn't leave last cycle? What does that do to the AFC, to the Prime, Dan, Bomber trio?
That could have made a huge difference. QB, like I feel like he could have had a big run last cycle. I mean, he started off. Did he not win season 1? Or
Yeah, he won.
yeah.
season 1. Yeah, he did.
Beat Meats.
He could have ran that whole freaking cycle, in my opinion.
Faz.
Yeah, I don't know if he would have ran a cycle. He started out hot with a very good team, and then he absolutely abused Blunt Burner, which put him out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Pretty good very early. Obviously, Prime ended up building a juggernaut. Bomber built a juggernaut. Dan built a juggernaut, and then traded his quarterback, and it was less of a juggernaut.
Scrub.
But either way, there was some elite talent out there. I think it would have been a lot like the AFC this cycle, where the playoffs would pretty much always depend on who faced who in what round.
Yeah, I think that the one thing was Dan, like QB could never beat Dan. Like that was the thing for a minute there until the playoffs, and then QB completely undressed him. That would have been, I think my what if is going to go from a different angle here. I think me and Bomber were the top rivalry last year. I think if QB stayed, QB and Dan would have been the ultimate rivalry, maybe in SML history, because both guys kind of came prepared and studied, and they're both really, really good players. I think that a QB and Dan rivalry, because they didn't like each other either, that would have been a fun one to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
So, all right, guys. Well, that's all I've really got. We're nearing about 20 minutes here on the podcast. Do you guys have any closing statements, thoughts, or comments?
No, man, I'm just happy to be back. That was a good first episode back, in my opinion.
All right.
Yeah, I was excited to get the invite. We'll see if we can get some commentary for this prime dump game, but until then, this was a nice little fill-in, so happy to be here.
Yeah, guys, that was Tiny and Faz, two completely different level players on Madden and in 2K Golf.
Hey, whoa.
Okay, actually, you know what? No, you're right.
So
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
So there you go. And I put this on Twitter, and I'll have to say it again. The reason why, or now we know what the Eagles do when they're not in the playoffs, and that's practice 2K Golf, because they're not in the playoffs a lot, so they got a lot of time on their hands. But okay, that's all I have to say. Everybody, thanks for listening to Total Access. I'm Prime. That's Tiny. Faz. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.